I think what you've seen actually, Jim, in the last couple of years, through both the American Rescue Plan funds that have been made available for these kind of programs in schools, as well as the Department of Education's efforts to actually try to support social emotional learning is something quite different than what we had seen for the last few decades, which I think is a growing recognition that these skills matter for kids and school is the right place for them to get it. But I do think you're asking the right question, which is how do we broaden this out into a national conversation so that parents understand the importance of this, so that they can also make choices and be advocates for these kind of programs in their schools. And that is part of what we are seeking to do through our office and our work on youth mental health more broadly, specifically on prevention. We talk often about protecting kids through addressing technology, addressing social emotional learning, and addressing isolation and loneliness. And for all of those who out here who may not be familiar with these programs, I'll tell you a very quick anecdote that for me often it captures a bit of the kind of value that these programs can deliver. I was in Hammond, Connecticut some years ago visiting a program that actually had social and emotional learning integrated into the curricula. This is the Ruler program, which I know, Jim, you're familiar with. And I was talking to these three kids, who I think were in 5th grade. And while we were chatting, this other student walked by behind them, and they all glanced back at him, and then they waved at him. And then they kept talking. I said, wait, hold on, who is that kid? And they said, oh yeah, that's Johnny. He came in today and he was really angry and he was yelling and screaming and he was just really mean to us. And we figured, something probably happened to him at home. So we just let him do his thing. And then when he calmed down a little bit later on, we went back to him and said, hey, how you doing? We checked in with him, and it turned out he did have a fight with someone in his family that morning, but he was much calmer, and so now everything's good now. And then they just went on to talking about what they were talking about before. And I said, whoa, hold on. You just displayed a level of insight and emotional maturity to understand his emotions, your reaction to his emotions. You were able to mitigate what could have been a really harmful response of you lashing out. And you actually went back later and provided him support at a time where then he was able to be open about what he was experiencing. And now everyone's happy. I was like, there are adults who don't have those skills, right? But you think about how valuable it is for a child to have that kind of experience, not just for school, but for life. Right? And one of the children, in fact, had transferred from another school in Connecticut that didn't have that kind of support. And she said that she was really struggling in that school, but she got to this school, and because kids understood how to manage their emotions and how to deal with each other, people were so much nicer to each other. There was a lot less bullying in the school. And she said her parents remarked to her that she seems to be so much happier and they're less worried about her. So the point is that these are skills perhaps we used to say, well, kids should get these somewhere. Maybe they should get them at home, maybe they should get them in the community. But the reality is that kids are not getting these skills on their own, right? And if we believe education should prepare kids for life, this is an essential life skill. And that's why we're pushing to talk more about it, to invest more in it, and most importantly, to make sure parents understand these issues so they can advocate for these kind of support programs in their schools.
Yeah.